Well, let's take a look now at how the markets closed last week. Well, here in Nigeria, the all-share index closed higher at the end of trading on Friday by 0.14% to close 39,564.79 points. Now, the week-on-week was 4.68%, while the year-to-date gain is currently at 40.91%. Livestock feeds gained 10%, followed by Great Nigerian Insurance, CAP, and GSK. While the laggards were Union Bank, despite the meeting held with stockbrokers at the NSC post the release of its Q1 2013 earnings on Friday. Now, other losers were Agilvent, Ikeja Hotel, Evans Med, and Rhodes. For more on Nigeria's equities markets and an outlook for the week, I'm joined by Larry Bluro, the head investment research at Primera Nigeria. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Larry.
Morning, thanks for having me.
All right, now, like I mentioned earlier, the ASI index was, has gained over 40% year to date. Now, week on week, it was up 4.68%. What are your thoughts on the kind of activities we're seeing lately?
Well, thank you. It's a positive and a welcome transition for the markets. We think it's quite sustained. We see a lot of investments from foreign portfolio investment managers. We've seen also locally now, more locally actually, which has been a very positive trend. Historically, or should I say as of 2012, the mix between foreign portfolio investments and local participation has been around 68% foreign portfolio investors and the rest being local. Now, as of Q1 of this year, we see more of the local players, most of the PFAs, most of the insurance players coming into our markets, about 55% of total participation of what we've seen so far. Individually, not as much as we would like it to be, but collectively, cumulatively, they seem to be, come back into this market. And it started towards Q4 of last year, towards the end. So the market had a very bullish run, and that momentum rolled into this year, and we were benefiting from that right now.
All right. Well, do you think this is sustainable? I mean, at some point, many analysts did say, we can only start seeing this kind of gains when securities lending are fully implemented. But we heard from the executive director of Nigerian Stock Exchange on Friday when he came on the channel. He did mention that this will kick off very soon. What kind of gains can we anticipate going forward?
I think we should be seeing more. I mean, irrespective of securities lending that's coming in. I mean, mind you, when you do start that, it's kind of like in the beginning stages, so you won't be seeing that much of an impact. I think what we're seeing right now is investors really having confidence in companies that they're trading in right now. Companies also fundamentally are much more stronger now. The banks, some of the consumer names, of course, building materials. We've seen a bullish run in the past few weeks. But like I said, fundamentally, these companies' earnings have been very strong. We like in our shop over here, we like companies that produce consistent, strong earnings. Better corporate governance. The exchange, the NSC, is implemented some really nice initiatives that's really deepened the market, improved liquidity. They've also driven some of these companies to be more transparent in their reporting. Now companies are in a timely manner periodically, sending us their filings. Investor can look into it now, unlike before. I might also note the growth we are seeing today is quite organic. 08, 07. Predominantly, most of the stuff was going on was driven by margin lending. Now it's just pretty much pure cash coming to our market.
Right now. Well, let's get your thoughts quickly on oil and gas space. Now, it was the only sector to close down last week, owing to the 8% loss by O&O. What are your thoughts on that space?
Like I said, it was quite surprising. I mean, it was one of the few laggards last week. Owando had a successful rights issue. We have internally we evaluate and see what's really going on. The story for Owando has been what's next. They're trying to transform into a fully integrated upstream oil and gas player, and it's yet to be seen. They've had a couple of capital raises. We know they're trying to pay for the ConocoPhillips asset they acquired. There might be a case investors are trying to pull back. It's been up 24-25% year to date. It's up from the right issue price of 12 naira. So it could be a case where maybe investors are trying to pull back to see what's next. Also, as far as I know, they haven't reported a full year results yet, so that could also be playing into this also.
All right. Well, let's just a quick one before you go. Now, Primera Africa recently initiated coverage on some names, such as Dangote and WAPCO. Now, what are the current valuations of these companies?
Currently, I think WAPCO closed around 99 last week, and I believe DANXEM was around maybe 200 and 200 and change. Yes, we did initiate coverage on these names about a few weeks ago. We'd like to I guess, take a little credit when we initiated coverage. We were one of the few people, possible at the time, but only shop at the time that was quite bullish on these two names. And for us, we like companies that are really, part of the growth story of our country, that contribute to the GDP. People who invest in the cement space right now, for us, we believe is really invest in infrastructural development of the country. Danksem and Waco are two of the names in that space are really going to benefit from the growth we expect in regards to infrastructure in our country. The biggest customer for these companies are the Nigerian government. They're going to be embarking on some serious infrastructural development in the next few years. The election is coming up. The current administration is going to try to jumpstart some projects to at least say, hey, listen, this is what we've done. Yeah. And we think, and not just the cement space, I think mostly building and material space in general. So Julius Berger might benefit from this. I know the construction company is going to benefit from this also. Okay. So, like you said, we initiated coverage on these names. We had a price target about 228 for Danksem. Right. It's come down a little bit. It actually hit that mark last week, actually exceeded a little bit and came down a little bit. We still think there's still upside to it. It's not just a Nigerian story, it's actually a Pan-African story. We see it, and I think the story right now is earnings. Each quarter they come in, if they beat estimates, I should see more investors coming in buying those names.